Hey Ezekiel, let's talk about your video. So, first of all, Gavotte Part 3. Really good. I don't have anything to say on that in terms of any improvements. It was nice. I think you've pretty much got the tempo down, you got the notes down. So we've done Part 1, Part 3, and Part 4 so far. So make sure you keep practicing those, especially Part 3 and Part 4, even though we're not recording them again. So that you keep them in your mind and you keep the tempo up. All right, let's talk a little bit about Gavotte 1. So again, this has the hardest stuff in it that we've done so far out of these 3 parts. And the only trouble you're having is in the 8th notes. And as was the case with your brother, in fact, you're both doing the same thing, which is tensing up your right arm, especially in your right hand and your right side, when you get to the 8th note. So what happens is we're playing along, and this all looks really good. It looks good, it sounds very relaxed. Then we get to this. That's fine, easy, right? All of a sudden, it sounds totally different. It feels totally different, the notes that you're playing, not just because they're faster. So it's because of how you're playing them. So here's what we have to remember. We don't need more tension to play faster notes. If I can play the 8th notes, if I'm playing half notes, relaxed quarter notes, relaxed 8th notes, relaxed 16ths. Right? I don't tense up anything here, 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 or here just because the notes are going faster. We have to stay relaxed. If you play tense all the time, then it just sounds tense all the time. If you play relaxed most of the time and are suddenly tense when you have to do something harder, it really jumps out, actually, because we hear it. He's really, he's really tensed up his muscles. So we get this kind of sound. It gets harsh, it gets tight. You have trouble with the string crossing because you've tensed this stuff, you've locked things here, so the string crossing isn't happening well. So I'm going to give you the same exercise that I gave Malachi, which is you can play the 8th notes at this speed, no problem. You can move your bow that speed. Right? So just relax. Start with halves. Go from halves. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. Right? Relaxed. 8ths. Nothing should change except that your bow is just physically moving faster. You don't push down harder, you don't grab anything tighter, you don't need more tension in the forearm. Nothing here should feel any different at all as we go from 2, or even, in fact, I have to relax even more to play those fast notes. All right, so we're going to start where we're not involving the left hand very much, or it's easy for the left hand. We're going to play A, 4, 3, 1, D, 1, 3, 4, A, just like that. So this is all that's happening in the left hand, moving on the half notes. Then we're going to play 8th notes with our right hand. Relax. D, 1, 3, 4, A, 4, 3, 1, D, 1, 3, 4, A, 4, 3, 1, D. You get the idea. Work on that. Make sure everything is relaxed. Left hand, right hand, the sound is relaxed. When you're good and relaxed on that, we'll go to triplets. So 3-note groups. A, 4, 3, 1, D, 1, 3, 4, A, 4, 3, 1, D, 1, 3, 4, A, and so on. Okay, that's a little harder. So moving our left hand a little faster, but the bow's still going at the same speed. We're just changing the pitch that we're playing. Now we're going to go to 2-note groups. Right? A, 4, 3, 1, D, 1, 3, 4, A, 4, again, stay relaxed. Don't change anything except that we're changing the notes. The actual pitch is more frequently, but nothing is changing here. Still the same. Hear it? I didn't change anything over here. All right, then when we're good and comfortable on those, then we can go back to... You can do any combination. Those are the two measures from that cello 1 part that you've been working on. Or you can put it in context. But that needs to have no change in the sound when we move from the half notes to the eighth notes. No tension, no harsher sound, no more pressure on the string. Don't change anything from how you're playing half notes, energy-wise. Right? That's all there is to it. You'll get it. This always happens. This is not unusual at all. I have to work on it too. If I have something that's particularly hard for me, I tense up also. It's a very natural reaction just for human beings to tense up when there's something where we're unfamiliar or hard. It just so happens that on playing string instruments, any kind of string instrument, probably any kind of musical instrument, tensing up when something's harder will actually make it even harder rather than making it just the amount harder that it should be. So that is what we want to work on Gavotte 1. Okay, we want to add a new part now. This is Gavotte 2. So this will be the fourth out of 5 parts that you will have learned. Now, Gavotte 2 is entirely on the A string. It uses A, 1, 3, and 4. And mostly it uses 3 and 4. You'll hear it. I'm going to play it for you once, and you can watch along in the music. A lot of third and fourth finger. That's a C sharp and a high D. Those are open D, fourth finger D on the A. So let's go through it slowly now, and you'll notice looking at it that the only measure that's really challenging is the fourth measure of the first line because it has eighth notes, where you have to remember to relax before you play them. Let's go very slowly right now just to learn these notes. So we start out with a pattern of fourth and third finger, very easy. 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, long 4. This is the same as the first measure. 4, 3, 4, 4. Here's our eighths. 1, 0, 1, 3, 4, long. Let's try it again. Ready, and 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 1, 0, 1, 3, 4, long. That's the first line. The first and third measures are exactly the same. And the second measure is almost the same as the first and third, right? It's just a 4-3-4 half note instead of a 4-3-4-4. So really is the only action we have going on there. All right, let's look at the second line. This is super easy. We start out with half notes, fourth finger, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, A, 4, 4, 3, 4, A, long. Let's try it again. Ready, and 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, And we'll need to, I think, lift at the end of this measure to go back to the down bow when we repeat the second line, because we'll get there. We've ended on a down bow. You could go and just play the bowing reversed for those lines. That line, it's fine either way. Or we can retake. Lift. You have to be quick. I'm easy either way. I think whichever way sounds good and you can play is fine. The same thing happens, we have an option in the first line as well as to whether to lift or not at the end of measure 2 and measure 4. So we could play, and now up bow. Now it's down bow again. So that if we don't do anything in the middle, we just play the bow naturally as it comes. We don't have to do any lifting. We could also lift at the end of bar 2. And lift again. I find that a little excessive in the lifting. It's technically a correct bowing, but it just feels like a lot of going back to down bow when we really could just play. And then it goes on. So either way is fine. You might practice it. It's good to learn how to do the lifts, but it's also good to learn how to reverse our bowing. Let me play through this once, all the way through with repeats, slowly, so you have a practice track. Always good to check your left hand. 1, 2, ready, play. There it is, Gavotte from Terpsichore, Cello Part 2. Practice hard, and I'll look forward to seeing your videos for next time.